Alright guys, so today we're talking about the Mad Titan himself, Thanos. As we learned previously, they intended to at one point actually include major parts of his backstory. These scenes were deleted. Now we don't know how far into production they got, but now we know exactly what these scenes would have been and why they were removed. Just before we get into the video, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. So I think many of us will agree that Thanos is one of the best villains when it comes to the MCU, maybe even comic book movies as a whole, like in the top 5. Obviously, his reasoning, you can kind of see where he's coming from, but yeah, he's kind of psychotic, so yeah, a villainous reason, right? Now, as it turns out, we found out years ago that they intended to do more with Thanos' backstory. In Infinity War, major elements of it were fully cut, and they ended up with the scene where he explains why he was exiled and why he became the Mad Titan, but that's about it. Now we know that they actually intended to have whole scenes when he was younger, and what these scenes would have been is a much younger Thanos on Titan trying to actually plead his case to the council, trying to make them understand what is happening with the planet, what's happening with the universe, and why they need to take his approach. When they looked at this, they started comparing it to other things that are out there, and they realized that it resembled exactly what Jor-El does on Krypton. So when they compared them, they said this is too similar, and at this point they decided to remove it entirely. Now to me, I think this makes a lot of sense. I mean, they already draw parallels to everything Zack Snyder ever put into the DCEU. Like, oh man, remember that scene from Gone with the Wind? Zack Snyder did it first. So the less parallels you can draw to anything like that, the better. And I think the way Thanos comes off in Infinity War is just perfect enough that we don't need his backstory. So not including that, I think was best case scenario for them. Just having him explain it and then having those flashbacks to Gamora's planet of how they do the culling of the planets, I think that made the point very clear. And when he's standing on Titan and he shows what it once was and what it is now, you get the full message without needing to be like, okay, let's take a break right now. Okay, now we're gonna go back and we're gonna show you these scenes of young Thanos pleading with them. And I mean, like, that's nonsense. No, that's not how we do it. Like, that would have stopped the film in its momentum, kind of stop it in its tracks. So I think from that standpoint, they picked the right decision. Now, who knows if they'll include elements of this somewhere down the road. Certainly Eternals could touch upon it, but yeah, you know, I'd like to see it at some point maybe, but only if it can be fit the right way. If it's just kind of like, here it is. Whatever, like, it wouldn't have fit anywhere, so I'm fine. You guys, let me know your feelings on this. Are you mad that they scrapped these scenes, or do you think we got enough Thanos the way he was?